Yo, what's up, everybody? Mr. Pup is here, and I got another vlog for you guys today. My XFL vlog worked out really well, so I decided to continue this series. I have a couple of vlogs that I've done so far. I did one on the YouTube partner program. I did the one on the XFL, and now I'm going to continue this on the Royal Rumble that happened last night in Philadelphia. It was a very good Royal Rumble. I'm not going to talk about every match, and I'm not going to just do a breakdown of what happened, who won. I'm just going to talk about specific bullet points of what I thought and stuff like that. Like I said, it's not going to be like every match, but there was certain things that I liked and didn't like, so let's just continue on. I'm going to first talk about the AJ Styles match versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And it was a very good match. All the matches were actually very good. It weren't like predictable matches. Like, you knew AJ was probably gonna win because of the whole like two people sharing one belt thing, but it wasn't like the predictability ruined it type deal. Like past WWE events. So it was a very good match. AJ Styles brings it on every match, and the other competitors are very good too. I mean, former champs and all that. So it was very enjoyable. The only takeaway that I didn't like is that it started the pay-per-view. I thought that was a little weird for a championship match to start the pay-per-view. They could have replaced it with one of the tag team matches. When I was looking at the match lineup, I noticed SmackDown's matches were all first, including the Men's Royal Rumble, which I'll talk about later. And Raw had the last three matches, including that Royal Rumble. Again, I'll explain that later. But I don't know. I just thought maybe the tag team match should have started that. I also felt like that there was too many filler matches. I felt like maybe taking those tag team matches out of there and just having the two championship matches and the two Royal Rumbles just make them really long and enjoyable. I don't know. I'm just kind of coming up with just random ideas. I don't know how to make it better. It would have been kind of cool to see Charlotte and Alexa Bliss actually do something too. Like, I don't know. But, I don't know. By the time the Men's Royal Rumble match actually started, I was already getting kind of like, is this almost over? And not that it wasn't enjoyable, it was just becoming long. But the AJ Styles match was first, and like I said, it was very good. All of the men brought it. It was very fun to watch. It's just I didn't like that they were first. I also want to talk about the Brock Lesnar match. Again, another enjoyable. You got three big heavyweight WWE fighters with Brock, Kane, and Braun Strowman. The only takeaway that I really didn't like is that Braun still hasn't got his push really to be the number one guy, that they're still giving it to Brock Lesnar. Now, I know that they're probably going to do a Brock versus Braun WrestleMania, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but that's just my opinion. It seems that way. And I think that could sell very well for WrestleMania. You got these two huge beasts for the belt. I heard Brock Lesnar's contract might be up in April, so I could picture all this, losing a belt at WrestleMania, and then he either moves on to another adventure in his life or he renews his contract. I'm not too sure, but I just feel like, WWE doesn't push their younger stars to the next level, and that the older ones kind of hold them down just a tiny bit. I mean, it's just my opinion. But overall, the match was very good. Lots of table breaking, lots of, things breaking back and forth. If you like that type of deal, hardcore type matches, I definitely suggest watching it because you got three giant people. The only thing else is Kane kind of didn't belong in the match, it felt like. You knew that he wasn't going to win because Braun is the younger guy in the group, that they should be pushing over soon. And Brock Lesnar's the champ, and he always had this character of you can't destroy me type character. So Kane kind of didn't really fit into this match too much, other than they were just going to beat him up. But it was very enjoyable to watch. Then let's go to the Men's Royal Rumble. Men's Royal Rumble was very good. Again, the predictability was not there. I like that they didn't have a million guest stars like sometimes they do in the past. the couple of takeaways that I didn't like was I didn't like that they had the NXT champ in the Royal Rumble. Why I didn't like that was, one, there was other NXT stars in the Rumble, so let's say they would have won, they could have faced that guy if they wanted to. The other thing was, it's not like the NXT guy was going to win. Not due to talent or anything like that. Just, it was going to be a Raw or SmackDown guy. Well, since they threw him out, it kind of kills the credibility of NXT just a tiny bit. Because that's the champ. It wasn't just another fighter of that roster. It was the champ of NXT. So, I don't know. I didn't like seeing that too much. But I thought it was a very enjoyable match in general. The other thing that I didn't like was John Cena just won't go away. I don't have a problem with John in the company. I don't have a problem with his history and all that. But he was the top 3 guy, I believe. I think he was third to get eliminated. I mean, at the end. He eliminated... Oh my god, I can't think of his name. But he eliminated one of the top up-and-coming stars. If you guys remember, I'll put it in the comments unless you guys remembered. I'm just having the biggest brain fart right now. But he shouldn't have been up there. I didn't have a problem with him in the Royal Rumble itself. It's John Cena. He should be there. He helps sell tickets, sells merchandise, and all that. But again, it's time for some of these older wrestlers to take a step back and start lifting these younger guys for newer storylines, to get the spotlight, so they could sell the merch, so they could be the top people. So I just felt like John Cena being up that high kind of killed that a little bit. I was happy that, as you can see in the photo, that Nakamura did win. I was nervous because it came down to Nakamura, Roman Reigns, and John Cena at one point, and I can't stand Roman Reigns. I mean, he's kind of boring to me, and I know a lot of people feel that way, and I don't know, I just don't get that spark from him. So I was like, oh god, don't make another Roman Reigns win, or John Cena win. But I was happy that Nakamura did win, because he's different, and I think it's exciting and something new. And when he said that he wants to face AJ Styles, now if WWE lets them do whatever they want to do, that match is going to be out of control at WrestleMania. That's a headliner right there. Like, last match of the night. Nakamura has great style. AJ Styles obviously has great style. Both very good in the ring. I think they could just blow up the house. It would be awesome to see. And, yeah, I mean, there's not enough words that I am super excited for that match. And the Hurricane came back just for the Royal Rumble. And the coolest thing was Rey Mysterio. He brought it. It looked like he didn't lose a step. Now, I know he was wrestling in other companies and stuff. He didn't, retire and didn't touch the ring for a long time. But he brought it, where I actually thought he had a chance of winning. I thought, he was going to beat Nakamura and all them and headline WrestleMania. I felt that strongly of how good of a performance he showed. But he didn't. But it was cool seeing them. It was cool seeing the Hurricane. I mean, we knew he wasn't going to win. But it was just, I like when they bring back some of these classic guys from different eras. Obviously, I'm in my 30s. The Attitude Era was when I was a teenager. That's what I used to watch. I used to also watch the Hulk Hogan eras and all that before that. I've been watching wrestling since I was around 2 years old, so it's 30-something years of wrestling that I have of knowledge. But Attitude Era, that's when I'm a teenager. That's where I connected fully with it and watched Raw all the time and all that, SmackDown, and I watched the WWE, WCW Wars and all that. So anyway, it was cool seeing the Hurricane because that was my generation, and yeah, it was really neat. I did like how they mixed NXT people with SmackDown with Raw, because I'm not the biggest NXT fan. It has nothing to do with the product. It's just too much wrestling for my life. I have a very busy life, and I just don't have time to watch all 100 hours of wrestling. But it's a very good product. If you're into old school type wrestling, great moves, great storylines, all that, definitely watch it. Like I said, I just don't have time to watch all of it. But it's really cool to see that they took these young kids that are learning the craft and bringing them to at least a Royal Rumble, maybe into WrestleMania as like one of the earlier matches like that. It's cool to see that, to give these kids a little bit of experience on a big scale. And yeah, it was, and again, Nakamura winning. That's awesome. I don't know who, for the current roster, I don't know who I would want to replace Nakamura. Randy Orton, I guess, be cool, but we've seen it. Like, just for something new, Nakamura was the one to do it. So I was happy with that. Next, let's talk about the women. So the women was awesome. I loved it. Only takeaway that I didn't like was too many guests from the past, because it was going like a current roster person, then a past person, then current past, and it was kind of becoming predictable a little bit on like who's coming out type deal. But I also loved it because this was the first time they had a women's Royal Rumble. So it was awesome to see them give respect to different generations of the women that took it to, from the Attitude Era and up. What I didn't understand was, so the Attitude Era, the women were amazing. You had Molly Holly, Lita, Trish Stratus, Jacqueline, and so on. And then it turned into the Diva section, which not a lot of people like or respected. And that was like the Kelly Kellys, the McCools. It was a lot of the cheerleader type wrestlers at that time. And I don't want to sound disrespectful, because I know that they've gotten hurt, they got injured. You know, I know that they took their bumps and bruises. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm being negative on that generation. It's just known that it wasn't as hardcore as the Attitude Era. And then the current roster finally got rid of the word diva, and they brought back the women's, wrestling with Asuka, and, you have Sasha Banks, Bayley. Charlotte Flair is, to me, you have Charlotte Flair and everyone else. Like, her craft is so good. Maybe Natalya might be up there too, but Charlotte's just on a whole new level. But again, it was really enjoyable. You got to see Trish Stratus, you got to see Lita, you got to see Kelly was there, McCool. I'm trying to think who else. Molly Holly. You had Vicky Guerrero, who did like a little guest thing. Jacqueline. So it was really cool to see all these women from the Attitude Era. Like I said, that was my generation and up. And this whole thing was about showing respect of the full circle that department has done, the women's department. And it was really cool. And, like I said, there might have been too many guests. It was still, I understood why they had so many. And plus, with Paige being out, you had to replace her too. And I thought it was cool, too, that they did add NXT stars into this match also. Again, give those younger girls a bigger stage to play in. I didn't like, again, that they put the main champ in there. Again, same reason. She didn't have to be in there. Let's say an NXT star won it. All that type of deal. Did it wreck the pay-per-view? Not at all. It was still fun to watch. It was cool seeing Asuka go up against her and all that. So it was really cool. At the end, as you can see in the photo, Asuka did win it, which is great. That was a little bit predictable. We all kind of figured Asuka was going to win. She was undefeated in NXT. She's undefeated in Raw. So it was kind of like a no-brainer. But, it's still awesome because now she gets to choose between Alexa Bliss or Charlotte. I don't know how the match would be between her and Charlotte. I know they're both top people of their game, but I don't know. It just feels like a weird lineup. Her against Alexa Bliss could be really cool. I think they're more in the same style, at least the same height, as you can tell by the photo. I don't know. Either way, I think I'll be cool with whatever choice that the WWE decides on whichever champ, because you know, they're really good at their craft. So I think they could sell it. I think they both, either one would do a great match. And yeah, I'm excited. But at the end, Ronda Rousey appears. To me, this is awesome. I'm a UFC fan. I've seen Ronda's matches, all of her matches. And I understand that she's not officially retired from the UFC or MMA. But it's cool to see her take a break from it, because I think losing those last 2 matches lost a lot of her image or credibility or whatever you want to call it. So I think it's cool that she came to WWE. I think it'll shake things up a lot with her MMA background, judo background, all that. She could bring something cool to see. I don't think she's going to be like the other MMA stars that are in the WWE right now. I can't remember their name offhand. I know one is in the group with Paige. And then there's one on SmackDown, and they're just like these tough brutes that just go around punching people. I don't think Ronda is going to be like that. I think she's going to be more of a wrestler, you know, technical type person. But I think it's really cool, and I'm glad she's here. I think that they could do something really big with her. Only thing I did not like, and I don't like it at all, and I've read different opinions on it, is using the Roddy Piper font on the background and on her shirt. I don't have a problem at all using Rowdy. I understand her history with Piper's family. You know, she's very close with the son, and she was very close with Roddy Piper before he passed, and she got his blessing to use Rowdy in the MMA world. And I get all that. Like, that's awesome. I don't have a problem with her using Rowdy, because she's always had that. Rowdy Ronda Rousey. I don't like that they're shoving Roddy Piper down everyone's throat with this image, because I feel like they dropped the ball in creativity for her. I know she's supposed to be the bad girl. Like, it's awesome. As you can see in the photo, she walked out with Roddy Piper's jacket on. And I don't have a problem with her with this tough girl image. I just feel like it's too much Roddy Piper. And I just feel like they could have given her her own image, her own gimmick to run off of. But, again, will it hurt anything? No, not at all. I think it's cool that she's in the company. I'm excited to see what she does. I'm excited what they do with her in WrestleMania, or maybe in the next pay-per-view. We'll have to see. But she did come down, and she's pointing right at that WrestleMania sign. Asuka never got to pick who she wanted to fight, and Ronda Rousey interrupted that, and we don't know what's going on. We'll have to watch Raw tonight. But it's very exciting. Pay-per-view was very good. If you're a WWE fan, haven't had a chance to watch it, definitely go back and try to find it somewhere, WWE Network or pay-per-view or something. And yeah, it was a very good night. If I had to give it out of 10, I would say an 8 maybe, because like I said, there was some negatives to it. But an 8's pretty high. 8 out of 10. That's pretty dang good. So, yeah, we'll have to see what Ronda Rousey does. Who is Asuka going to pick? You know? And that's my blog for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And let me know what you guys think. Do you like that Asuka won or Nakamura? Do you like Ronda Rousey's in the WWE? What do you think about her using Roddy Piper's imagery? Not really with the tough girl look, but with the white T-shirt with the Roddy Piper lightning font. You know, what do you guys think? Anyway, please subscribe, hit the like button. I guess I'll see you guys next time. Peace.